Okay guys, just to recap you, our #1 project for the month of February was June by Mano Grace. If you don't know who I am, my name is Lou, I'm a music producer, I'm a writer, and I'm a massive douchebag. Yes, you heard me right. You heard me right. In this video, we break down our top 5 favorite albums and EPs that were released in the month of March and make sure they do not slip your way. The artists in our top 10 that drop projects include Pierre Johnson, Runaway Nuns, Youngster, Refentse Solo, Windows 2000, Prince Kaybee, Wandile, Mbambeni, Res Prof, The Big Hash, and An Awkward Social. If there are any EPs or albums that we missed in the month of March, please do let us know. And you're welcome to submit us your own music. We want to hear that shit. You're welcome to find our email in the description below, or you can slide right into our DMs. We will listen to your tracks. But for now, let's get into it. Our #5 is Incognito by An Awkward Social. What I really dig about this project is that it blurs the lines between genres. In the first track called Feeling, we introduce you these subtle shades of alternative rock, and in the last track called Incognito, there's these down-tempo things going on, which is very reminiscent to the works of John Kennedy. In this project, he has a very poetic nature to his songwriting. It's like he paints a picture every time he describes something. In the one track, he says, "I'm downtown doing things that ain't Christian, these alleyways will always be in business." This is more of a solitary listen, and if you're in your feelings, Incognito is a great way to comfort yourself. I'm gonna give it a 6.8. I don't know what's thicker, the skull of a homophobe or trying to ignore the sound of this band. Our #4 is Holy Collusion by Runaway Nuns. On their debut album, the Nuns are loud, gritty, and in your fucking face. Not abrasively though. The Nuns invite you to have fun and lose your shit without having to feel as if you're picking between sides. I am though disappointed in the lack of substance when it comes to their songwriting. The Nuns have a blatant and powerful voice that could be used for so much, but their subject matter tends to revolve around parties, somewhat shallow relationships, and the stories of their travels. Extra Celestial is definitely one of the bangers. Melodically, it's very unconventional because of the inflections on the vocals. When the whole band gets in on the vocal action, a spark of magic occurs. I'm talking about the continuously impressive vocal harmonies that are found in this album. Catch On, All Right Now, and Extraterrestrial are some of the gems that you'll find on this project. I'm gonna give it a 7.2. If you're into bands like Shame, Idols, or maybe even the Black Angels, this is something for you. Our #3 is Young by The Big Hash, TBH. To be honest. The opener Save Me is quite dope actually. It's got great production and it also has this unpredictable factor to it. It starts off as this like groovy house track, but then out of nowhere it like flips into this futuristic trap-like song. I don't feel as if this project brings anything new to the table though. I mean, there's no doubt that he's an incredible rapper, although there's no edge and I can't seem to find what makes him him. Does that make sense? This project also has quite a generic narrative. I came from nothing to something, I have money now, the girls like me, my shit doesn't stink. You get my point. But, and a very big but. Okay, I don't mean that, but like, you know what I mean. Even though his sound isn't completely innovative and different, Young is still one of my favorite rap albums. I mean, the sheer quality and his fucking melodies. Yes, he sings and he raps. The track called Circles is a marvelous demonstration. In the opening verse, it comes across as vulnerable and somewhat sincere, but near the end, this all changes. We're greeted with this beefy sub-bass, and above that sonic spectrum, we find vocals and lyrics that exude bitterness and agony. In fact, he exquisitely summons 2 different parts of himself, and even through that, we're still able to relate with him. What I love about Young is the fact that it's cohesive, it's consistent, it's got different vibes, and it has immense replay value, which is very important to me. I'm gonna give this a 7.7. Keep in mind that he's only 17, and he's just so good. So you better keep an eye out for The Big Hash, alright? Alright? #2 is Mino, am I pronouncing that right? Mino by Prince Kaybee. Mino contains elements of Afro House, boom, and soul. In fact, it isn't just great, it's quite an important album, right? In this album, Prince Kaybee shows why he's a demystifier. Many people tend to criticize genres like boom or house for lacking a sense of creativity, musicality, or even complexity. What Prince Kaybee does is create a spellbinding listening experience by virtue of the delightful chord progressions found in his works. The track Afro Tech Thursday is quite interesting. There's a clear EDM influence there with its hyper soul pad, and in that track you just feel like going like this. But when the drop comes, after all that, you just want to get down, you know what I mean? You just want to like just groove. I love how it takes 2 different genres that like don't belong and unites them in holy matrimony. The single of this album is the ever popular Ono Mona. Its soothing pad in the background creates this very warm texture. Bootie's vocals are also very impressive as she doesn't just sing, but there's this attitude behind the delivery which exudes confidence and finesse. This is definitely one of the best songs on radio right now. Prince Kaybee has made me appreciate mainstream house and boom so much more. In fact, I'm gonna give this a 7.9. La 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 la, you never get this, you come close, but you never get this.
You will never get this, you will never get this, la 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 la.
The reason why this has made it to number 1 is because of one word: timelessness. Our number 1 album for March is 3T by Youngster. Dude, this album is a must listen for anyone who lives in Cape Town. With the help of his granddad, Youngster elegantly tells the story of the past, future, present of the colored Mensa. In fact, he doesn't just highlight the community issues, but he also describes the beauty that he sees in his people. Don't get me wrong, this album is really dope. But it's post long, I swear to you. Literally, the same coming of Jesus can happen and you'll only be on track 15. There were many songs that were great and conveyed a strong message, but then there were some songs that felt like fillers, like tracks just like thrown on there. It's just jazz. The songs that I'm talking about are Just Be Lekker, Mother's Child, and Kafta Naya. All throughout this album, Youngster does prove that he's an amazing lyricist with an arsenal of punchlines and a variety of flows. This is very particular in the track 786, a boom bap track which is very similar to, actually, I don't know, but it has a lot of food for thought for you. In one of the punchlines from 786, he says, "They say you can't go to heaven if you die from suicide. I thought it's God's plan, so how can you decide?" But the cringe hooks in some of the songs almost fall what could be a really great track. 4 Colored Girls and 1,000 Mistakes is a really good example of this. I'm pretty sure it's something to do with the poor choice of melodies and the lackluster repetition. The bulk of the tracks that I enjoyed in this album were actually in the first half, like VOC and YVR. So good. Something I can't neglect to mention is some of the powerful stuff that his granddad says. That man drops some heavy knowledge on your bitch ass. This album is something I definitely push my kids to listen to when I'm a father. 3T is saturated with positive messaging and it's an indication of what's going on in our generation right now here in Cape Town. I'm gonna give this album an 8.2. If you're into hard and raw rap like Dr. Dre and Skepta, this is for you. And that's it, folks. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm not too sure if you saw, but in our last video we had Beatenberg break down their top albums that influenced their artistry. If you want to check that, check out our page. Subscribe, like, comment, hit us up, let's chat, let's mingle.